Good morning, Facebook world and the world at large. If you're tuning in, if you've woken up early here and got your cushion out, maybe a yoga mat, and you're keen to do some Kundalini based meditation with me this morning, I really welcome you to your cushion and to this space and time on our planet where we could really all benefit from a practice such as this. So welcome if you're just tuning in, and enjoy this practice. If you haven't done a lot of Kundalini meditation, I just wanted to very briefly introduce the practice to you so you got a bit of an idea of what we're going to be doing here this morning. If you've done normal meditation, the metaphor I like to use is this. In normal meditation, you imagine like you're going into a room and you're wanting to turn the lights down a little bit. So when we normally meditate, you're wanting to quieten down your mind, lower the stress levels, maybe slip beneath those thoughts a little bit. So you can imagine we're trying to take the mind, use the mind, and turn down the lights a little bit on the busyness or the restlessness of the mental energy. But Kundalini yoga was really a revelation in the yoga world because they came at it from a different perspective. So imagine it instead like this, that you walk into a building that has 7 rooms in it, and instead of wanting to turn the lights down, you are turning the lights on in each of these different rooms. So the difference with a Kundalini style of meditation is that instead of just working with the mind, you're working more with energy. So you're working with movement and breath techniques and bringing your awareness into different channels and different parts of your body to ultimately transform your state of mind, but not just using your mind to do that, using energy to do that. So with that little introduction, the 2 main things we really focus on in Kundalini practice is Chitta and Shakti. Chitta is your consciousness and Shakti is your energy. And to be working with these techniques, some movement today, just gentle seated movements, some breath techniques, and some focal points in the body and different channels to bring this Chitta and Shakti, or consciousness and energy, together and open these channels and create pathways of healing and growth. So with that all said, if you'd like to take a comfortable seated position, you could do this in a chair if you wanted to. Most of the work could be done in a chair as well, but if you're comfortable on the floor, do that. And then when you're ready, go ahead and just drop your hands to your thighs. Perhaps open is a better way to sit than hands in the lap. And go ahead and close the eyes down just as soon as that feels good for you. And I invite you for a moment here just to simply orient your awareness into your body, here and now, in a way that just helps you arrive, land and ground in, and to notice just precisely where you find yourself in this place and time. How's your energy this morning? Where are you at? What's going on inside? As you just begin to soften and relax some of the surface tension. And what I'm going to suggest is that for most of us on the planet right now, it's become a very base chakra, Muladhara center activation. So I'm just going to ask you to bring your attention down out of your head for a moment. And then to soften those shoulders and to come down through the chest as you relax the abdomen. And just sink your mind down into the hips. And from the hips into that space just beneath the tailbone in the pelvic floor. And notice what it's like just for a moment to bring all of your attention down here. Because most of the world, if we're honest right now, is being called into a really base chakra awareness. And this is a center of isolation and survival, and also fear at times. And so just as you rest here for a moment, just to acknowledge that this really is the energy of our planet and perhaps internally where a lot of us are at. I invite you just to start very lightly breathing into the abdomen. And as you exhale, just kind of send that breath down into that base center. And as though you're growing roots deep down into the earth, you can imagine it, feel it, or visualize it. And just do that in a way that helps you develop a sense of really coming home to this moment in time. With all the energies around and within. And that you can build a home for yourself here. A sense of presence, an earthy, grounded stability. A sense of, I guess, safety and comfort in this time of isolation and turning within. And just as you do that, then I'd like you also to reflect on the idea that even though this energy is present, perhaps for us, that so much of the world is largely unchanged, that the sky up there is still blue, that the earth is still spinning and the sun shining, warmth on our planet. And that really, if you tune into it right now, the energy of the entire cosmos hasn't changed at all. It's always constant. It's moving, it's transforming, and yet it's just there. So from this space of earthy groundedness, I invite you just to open to that sort of field of all things around you, above you. And start to interact with that now as you sweep the arms into the air. And you can open the eyes just to see what we're doing in this first movement. Breathe in and take the arms to the sky. And then separate the hands. And as you exhale, lower them back down through the center. And do this a few times now. Just continue like a moving meditation of starting to interact with the field around you. Not just inside, but all around. And exhale like you're letting that field offer energy, blessings, frequency into yourself. Inhale, lift. And as you get comfortable with that, again, close the eyes down and just let the hands be an extension of your inner world, interacting with the greater world. Now, some people imagine this like a field of energy. For others, it's more like a prayerful opening to that great spirit. Or maybe for you, it's God, or whatever that universal energy or consciousness or light is that you may even sense above the crown of the head or even all around you. I invite you just to breathe here a few more times in a way that you might like to even bring these words into this. And that as you inhale and lift the arms, the words are, I open to. And as you exhale and bring those blessings down, what is it? Maybe love, or maybe healing, or maybe good health, or maybe joy. Inhale, I open to. And as you exhale, what is it from above that you're drawing out of the field and bringing into yourself here, now? The energy, the frequency that's beginning to shift. And really open to that. Imagine that's happening now. You're bringing that energy of love or healing or joy or peace out of the wholeness, out of the light, out of the spirit, and prayerfully inviting it into yourself. Do that one more time in a way that just starts to open your inner field to that great field that's always flowing, that's always blessing, that's always here if we just open and ask and turn toward it. Place the hands to the knees when you're ready. And with eyes closed, just simply notice how your energy may have shifted and changed. Become a little more subtle. An openness, a willingness to grow and transform through a practice such as this. And as we move forward now into this meditation, I'd like you to imagine that there are 3 channels that you'll be working with now that run alongside and through your spine. And for now, just get a sense of 2 channels, one moving from the tailbone all the way up the left side of the spine to the third eye. It's colored blue. And then get a sense of the channel running up the right side of the spine, all the way to the third eye, and it's red. Then go ahead and take your body over to the left into a side bend and reach the right arm over like this. With eyes open or closed, begin to breathe in a way that you imagine taking the breath all the way up the right channel of the spine. Feel the right lung, the right side of the spine. And as you inhale, draw the breath from the tailbone up that right channel all the way to the third eye. And as you exhale, imagine it coming back down and grounding that hip into the floor and sinking down through that channel. This is the yang channel, the red channel, the active channel, the fiery channel, the doing channel. Breathe and expand. Move from the lower to the upper. And breathe out and imagine taking that energy from the third eye and bring it back down through the right channel and earthing. One more breath here. And then when you're ready, take the arms to the air and just switch sides over and across. And with eyes maybe closed, so you can really feel inwardly. Take the breath into that left side of the lung, up that blue channel from the base of the tailbone, up the left channel to the third eye and back down. And so a lot of this Kundalini yoga practice is using energy, moving energy through your body, enlivening these channels that can sometimes feel stuck or dormant or out of balance. And right now, just bringing a sense of consciousness into the feeling here, into the color, into the channel. Just opening that energy up like you're breathing air into a wind instrument. And after that next exhalation, come on up. Take the hands to the knees and we'll continue moving the breath through those channels now with alternate nostril breathing. Take the right hand up to the forehead, first 2 fingers between the eyebrows. Thumb over right nostril, ring and pinky over left. Close the right nostril and breathe in through the left nostril. And as you do that, imagine taking the energy up the whole left side of the spine to the third eye. And as you close the left nostril and breathe out through the right, imagine taking that energy down the right channel from the third eye, down through the right side of the spine, down through the tailbone. As you breathe in through the right nostril, take the energy up through the right side of the spine to the third eye. And as you exhale, allow it to move down through the left channel, the blue channel. And in this way, continue for a few rounds, dropping into this meditation on the breath, on energy, on movement, on balance. And then after you exhale through the left nostril again, the left nostril, whenever that is, just exhale fully through the left nostril. And when that's happened, bring the hand back to the knee. Take your time, there's no hurry. And whenever you have finished that, we'll continue that same technique, but now just doing it mentally without blocking the nostrils. Just simply follow the breath mentally up the left nostril, up the whole left side of the spine to the third eye. And then mentally feel the breath going down the right nostril, all the way down the right side of the spine to the tailbone. Mentally breathe into the right nostril and take the breath up the right side of the spine to the third eye, and then mentally down the left side. And even if one nostril's blocked, you just imagine it moving there. even if you can't feel it so well. And so continue like this now for a minute or so. Bringing mind into energy, energy into breath, breath into feeling. And it's easy, isn't it, at times when we're challenged, when this base chakra is really activated, to just focus on one side of the equation, to maybe just see the darkness. And yet, just like the yin, yang, there's always light in the dark and dark in the light. So as you continue with this practice, just get a sense that you're creating a balance. Like the yin-yang symbol, where you're bringing light into that darkness. And yet realizing that there's great lessons to learn within the dark, within the challenge, and within the adversity. That our greatest teachings often come through times of struggle, angst, and pain. And that the lotus emerges from the mud into the light. And to take one more full round of this breath and just really sense your inner world, your brain, your body. Just a willingness to move into a state of equanimity and balance. Where all of you can come to bear on this moment in time. All of your resources can become active for you. All the lessons and learnings from your life you can have access to now. So that when you next exhale through the left side, please pause. And simply notice what you notice. That the world around out there can just be as it is for some time. And the world within, the many worlds within, it's as though you're beginning to turn a light on here, now, inside. How does that feel? Truly, these energies in the spine don't just move up the two channels. If you've ever seen DNA, that double helix that links around itself, or two snakes that intertwine, or if you were to imagine two vines that move around a tree trunk going up, allow your higher mind to get a sense of these channels kind of interweaving around your spine now in any way that you represent that to yourself. Just see, visualize, get a sense of these two energies intertwining around the spine, moving through the chakra centers in any way that you depict that to yourself. So that as these two energies become balanced, as we see the yin within the yang and the yang within the yin, we awaken the central channel. And so let's do that now with just a little movement from the tailbone to the third eye, and just relax your cross-legged posture for a moment. Bring the soles of the feet out in front, hands to the knees, and with eyes closed, imagine that central channel. And as you take a breath in, move the breath from the tailbone all the way up the spine to the third eye. Arch the back, look up. And as you breathe out, imagine taking that energy from the third eye back to the tail and curl into yourself. Tuck in through the tail, activate pelvic floor. And as you inhale, rock forward and up. Take the energy from the base, like electricity shooting up the spine to the third eye and back down as you exhale. Make that movement a little more pronounced as you inhale. Draw the energy up, like a fountain shooting up, and as you exhale, ripple your whole spine forward, bow the third eye. And as you inhale, roll up, hands to the knees, send the energy from base to third eye. As that fountain shoots up, let it spill forward and down and round your body. Bow your head humbly into the immensity of you. Curl up one more time. Feel that there's a power and a light within you that you're giving energy to now. You're giving birth to, you're giving power to, life to. Come on up one more time. And when you're ready, just pause and come back into a cross-legged position where we'll remain for the rest of this practice. Close the eyes, rest the hands on the knees, and become really still now. Deeply centered, deeply present. And feel like your whole world, your whole reality now has become just the central spine from tailbone to third eye. And you might imagine this like a fluorescent tube of pure white light or like electricity. And focus your attention at the tail, at the base center. And as you start to breathe in with that ujjayi breath, imagine like electricity intensively moving up the spine, cleansing, clearing all the way to the third eye, and hold that energy there for a few moments. The point between the eyebrows. And then as you exhale, send that immense force of electricity, power, Shakti back down through the spine, through the tailbone, into the pelvic floor. Listen to the hollow whisper of the ujjayi breath, cleansing, clearing the path. And for the next couple of minutes, just continue with this full cleansing, purifying, Kundalini breathing up and down through the spine. So that your whole reality becomes this one breath, this one place and time, being drawn inwards deeply. Sense the electrical energy moving with the touch of the breath as mind and Shakti come together inside the spine on the journey of each breath. Feel it, sense it, enliven it. Become one with every breath. You're walking into these many rooms and you're turning the lights on. You're journeying through the Sushumna, the sacred channel of the spine. Like a stadium floodlight. Really turning the lights on there now. Take 3 more breaths, full, expansive, cleansing, purifying, awakening, liberating breaths. Enjoy it, savor it. Allow your mind to move within. And after that last breath, whenever that is for you, let go of all the doing. And for some time, bring all of your attention to rest in that singular point of consciousness between the eyebrows, Ajna Chakra, the third eye. as all resistance dissolves. And duality is like a handshake, becoming whole at the third eye. You may experience light here as you peer deeply with your awareness. You may feel a calling, or just sense a vastness and a peacefulness. And so simply rest here, awake, aware. And to further activate this third eye center, begin to sense that very soft, effortless breath. And imagine it now as though not moving through the nostrils, but gently breathing in from the third eye to the middle of the brain. And breathing back out from the middle of the brain into the third eye. You could sense this as a channel of energy. And for some people, the color is purple. Breathe in, take the breath from the third eye to the middle of the brain, and as you breathe out, silently repeat that mantra, Om, back into the third eye. And melt your mind here for the next 2 minutes. And become whole, become one. Become free. Every breath takes you deeper inside. And every breath is turning the lights on. It's as though the two halves of your brain have merged now, become one. As though your whole being has become whole. To the sacred sound of Om, the purest frequency of the entire universe, the primordial sound, the purity of spirit moving into form. Now for just a moment, let all of that technique be gone. The breath, the mantra. And instead, a moment of absorption at the third eye, of clarity and peace. And here, instead of fear and shutdown and contraction, we enliven the faculties of discernment, of making good choices, of good judgments, of rational thinking. Of insight and intuition, of listening to a higher voice, of what do I need in this moment in time? What serves my highest? And we create little moments in our day to listen and to receive, to suspend the flow of fearful, worried thinking, to listen to that subtle voice from above and within. And so right now, I just wonder if you'd really like to turn the lights up at that third eye, like you've walked into that room, up at the penthouse, and you've switched the lights on. And that peacefulness and that calm and that discerning higher mind. I wonder if you'd like to take that light and that consciousness and just let it come down into the throat center. And bring awareness into the feeling in the throat center and just, what's it like to turn the lights on there? To enliven the faculties of listening and stillness and calm. Of expressing something higher in you at this time. Of letting your voice be heard. And then to bring that light and consciousness of the third eye and let it rest into the heart center. And to just really turn the lights on there, now. And as you bring consciousness to the feeling, and allow the breath to gently touch the heart. And what does it mean to you to allow the heart to express itself at this moment in time? To live with kindness and compassion and gratitude. And that we have a choice to bring that third eye and the consciousness and the light and let it rest down into the navel center. To bring awareness to the feeling here and to turn the lights on. To feel the breath in this center and what's it like to allow this center to be awake for you in this moment in time. The center of health and healing that digests the world and transforms heaviness to lightness, fear into possibilities. And what might it be like to take the light at the third eye and bring it down into the sacral center, inside the pelvis. And bring awareness to the feeling here, and let the breath touch this center, and really turn the lights on. a center for creativity. And play. What might it be like to take the light at the third eye and bring it all the way down into that base center, Muladhara, that center that wants to contract and close off, but instead right now to really just turn the lights on there, to allow the breath to touch that space. Maybe we don't always have to be fully growing and evolving. Maybe it's enough at times just to take one small step forward. And so maybe it would be enough today to close this practice, to just move your energy a little from the base center and just let it stir up into the second sacral center for now. Like a movement from contraction and fear toward this center. And I'd invite you to just let your mind recall an experience in your childhood, a pleasant experience of playfulness. Some people remember a time at the beach, or those endless summer days. You remember laughter. You remember the ease with which you made new friends. You remember that childlike innocence where nothing was really a problem and time stretched on forever. And as you remember all of these and more, you might let a light smile come to the lips as you just allow the breath to move a little more into this sacral center. Allow yourself, maybe just for today, to bring a playfulness to your energy, a lightness to your body. And that childlike innocence, that freedom of creative joy, the spirit of possibilities, of new friends, and playfulness. And if that center and that spirit of laughter and play was a color for you now, down in that center, what would it be? That spirit of a smile, of that wonderful laughter. And if you were to take that color and that frequency and that laughter and that smile and let it move out through the whole of your body as you breathe more deeply and offer that spirit of childlike freedom, of playfulness, of flow, of joy, like a watery river of energy throughout the whole body, and allow that color to move through the spine, through your cells, through your organs, through your heart and brain. In a way that maybe just for today it is enough to take one small step forward, whatever that may be. Go and paint a picture, cook something creative and new, write a poem, or maybe just connect with a friend from your childhood on Facebook even, or just remember and journal and sort of go back in time to that free spirit where growth was easy and change was effortless. Maybe take one more breath in a way that just allows you to feel free on the inside. And truly joyful in your spirit. And let's close this practice by bringing the hands into the center of the chest, and as the palms come together, sense a unity, a unifying spirit where those energies have become whole, balanced, unified. And you might move back out into the day and let this day be a blessing of possibilities and joy and playfulness and laughter. Thank you so much for sharing in this practice today. If you're still here on the line, it's a beautiful practice, Kundalini. It leaves a real subtle, joyful feeling in your body. So just enjoy that today. Be kind to yourself. Be gentle with yourself. Namaste to you all. Have a wonderful day. So thanks so much in sharing in this practice. As we've been saying, and we'll be posting in the comments and online, we're putting all these practices up on our members page on our website. We've made that page free for everyone right now in these challenging times. Some people have asked, can they contribute? And yes, of course, you can contribute to the Struggling Yoga Teachers Fund right now. There's a button, you can make a contribution if you want to, but you don't have to. Everything's offered freely. But those with means, it's an opportunity to share and give back. And those without the means, just enjoy freely. I'll link you to these practices. There's heaps of them on the site. They're a great resource. And if you want to tune in this afternoon, Sunday afternoon, Vanessa's leading a beautiful restorative yoga practice at 4 p.m. A time to really take this practice this morning and chill out, bring a bolster or some pillows to that practice as well and enjoy that. It's been such a pleasure sharing this morning practice with you. Blessings to you all. Have a beautiful day. We'll see you soon.